Cowboy Nation, we're going to try this thing again. Really appreciate each and every last one of you all. Thank you all for tuning in to the nation. We're going to talk a little bit about the Rico Gathers completely suspension and things like that. We're going to talk into that. And then on top of that, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts, my feedback on this whole entire situation, why he suspended only one game, why are some players suspended 4 games and beyond. So we got to look at everything. Every stone must be turned over and see what's under it. Also, into this whole conversational piece, we're going to talk a little bit about Dak Prescott and his demands. His camp won $34 million, what that does for the team. We can talk into those aspects of it, but I want to know your thoughts, Cowboy Nation. Post those information down below of like how you feel about Rico. Is this much to do about nothing because he's the 4th string tight end at this moment right now? And I got high praises for Rico. I have high thoughts about him because he improved his game so much in blocking. Remember, blocking is such a crucial spot in his game. You got to know how to block, and also, especially when you are a run-first team, you want to know how to block. You want to know where your assignments are at. And then, on top of that, if you have the limited amount of football played with Rico, normally around 4th and 5th years, you'll see the improvement. So I like those things about Rico's skill set, and hopefully he can get this 1 game suspension, and then he can move on with his merry life and these sorts of things. But we're going to dive right over here to the article, and I posted, hey, this seems kind of weird to me. It seems kind of bizarre for him to be suspended for only 1 game when you look at other people and you look at other teams. But I have to get out of the habit of looking at other teams because we don't have the same ruling as other teams. I have to understand that. Somehow, one way or another, I have to understand that. But it says in the article, tight end Rico Gathers gets 1 game suspension. Cowboys tight end has been suspended without pay for the first game of 2019, and the season is because of the NFL policies and programs that he violated, I guess, substance abuse, and the league announced this on a Friday. Now, the news is kind of dry, and I will say this, I'm always trying to figure out why would they announce it today opposed to yesterday or and beyond. But I think the news cycle is so dry right now is that they're looking at ways of trying to bring up more news. And we know that we heard of the story of I guess the Denver Broncos owner. He passed away. May he rest in peace. I think the general manager or something like that. He passed away. So that was cycling through the news. So why not rain a little bit more of negative news out there by putting out there the Rico Gathers? Now, this is not me saying that whatever he did down there in the past or whatever he did to get these suspensions, he should be exonerated of all these things. But when we start talking about the policies, in order for a game to be, in order for, I guess, for them to take a suspension off or, I guess, suspend you, you got to be step 2 in your program. So that meaning that he was already in stage 1, so he's in stage 2. Instead of them giving him a 4 game, what are they trying to say? Well, instead of a 4 game suspension, we're going to give you a 2. Instead of a 2, we'll give you a 1. There's something fickle about this process. Now, I'm with the belief if the fine and the suspension is 2 games, give it 2 games. If the suspension is 4 games, give him 4. But all of a sudden now is 1. Where's the longitude and latitude is, about this? That's it. 1 game, Lord Brunson. That's what he's saying. And shout out to Lord Brunson. He's a Philadelphia Eagles follower. I have yet to hear any news. And see, it's a blessing. It's a blessing sometimes when you are not being, I guess, in the media like that, or you're not being exposed or having all of your dirty laundry out there, because they have yet to mention about Jalen Mills. Jalen Mills was arrested. I think that he should, depending on the situation, depending on the outcome, especially fighting whatever he was doing, shouldn't that be a suspension coming around the corner for him? But they're not the Dallas Cowboys. So what we have here is that when you have the Dallas Cowboys, And when you have such a big spotlight, when you up under the, I always call us like the ant that's under the microscope, you know. And Roger Goodell got this sunlight beaming all over us. That's what I'm seeing. What Roger Goodell is doing. What's up, man? Appreciate you. Make it rain. Is packing messy cans? Yeah, make it rain. But that's just the problem that we are seeing now. Is with the pettiness. And my thing is, Cowboy Nation, they need to figure out a way to give us some solid guidelines. I don't mind a player being suspended, but my thing is, explain. Give us a little explanation, or give us some type of reasoning. Give us what the substance was, or what it is, or what have you, so that we can start looking at everything line by line and say, ho. You know, Orlando Scandrick, he gets 2 games for popping the molly, and now this guy gets 1 game. Orlando Scandrick had to appeal. So what was the appeal process? I just want to know. Shout out to you, Rodney Ellis. Shout out to you, Money Making Mall. Appreciate you for tuning in to the nation. I really want to know. What's up, Jimmy? Appreciate you, man. So a lot of people say, okay, but they want to be in the spotlight, but when the spotlight is shined, what are you going to do with it? What is the process with it? So you know me, I'm all about facts over opinions, right? I'm always trying to bring in the actual facts matters into it. I don't want to be like, okay, these are just opinions. So I'm going to pull up the NFL substance abuse handbook, their policy and their procedures, and we're going to look into it, and we're going to see what's really the suspension is all about. And that's what I want to do right now. Guys, like I said, still post your thoughts, post your concerns down below, especially you're ready for the $34 million quarterback, Dak Prescott. All right, so this is the actual NFL policy. Now, of course, stage 1, I can see that players, when they enter it into stage 1, this is the intervention stage. When they find out that a player that's been using substance and using these things to whether or not it gain extra leverages and things like that, they actually go through a medical director. And what the medical director does, he does the evaluations, and I'll post a link in the description box for you guys to read along or what have you. And let me see if I can post it right here for those who want to just make a copy of it. Once this video is released or what have you, I'll post the information. Treatment plan or what have you. The medical director, I'm just going to paraphrase through all of this. Medical director then moves, or he gives you an advice to go to a certain counseling session, basically, and they go through a provisioning stage. So you really, at this point, when you first get caught with your little weed or when you caught with your little substance, they don't actually suspend you right away. They try to quote unquote help you, right? And then through that durations of time, they will meet back in 90 days. After the 90 days is up, they do another counseling period, and then from there they determine a period to exceed 180 days. Then they will say, okay, this player is just out of the loop, this player need help. So moving a little further, that's why I said he had to be in stage 2. In stage 2, it clearly states a player in stage 2 must comply with the terms of treatment plan. If one develop a stage 1, may be amended into stage 2, meaning that if you're already inside the plan in stage 1, then they can push that plan over to stage 2. And this is testing. This is very important. And now, once you're into the program, once you in, they say once you in, right? Stage 2, you'll be subject to unannounced testing, meaning that at any given day, any given time, any given moment, Tupac and Biggie, anybody can come out and test you. That's just the reality of it, right? It'll be unannounced testing. They can test you for various of things, but this is the problem. I'm only seeing, and I'm not saying that just because you wear silver and blue, you're going to get tested, but I'm only seeing that these news and everything being broken out is of a player that wears silver and blue. There's 32 teams out there, or you can say 31 other teams out there with over 90 people on their teams at this time. So you mean to tell me collectively that out of all the 31 teams, Out of the 90 players that's on that 31 teams, I believe, you only finding Rico Gathers with these type of situations? Let me know. I don't want to sound delusional. I don't want to sound crazy with this. And they said that drug testing panel, they test everything with the except for alcohol and other substances. So they don't test actually for alcohol. But this is the discipline. A fine of 417. So what they're saying is they either fine you and then they either take away your games. So substance suspension without pay for 4 regular season games. So I'm looking at it as, and this include Pro Bowl if selected, he do not. Okay, so I'm looking at it like, hey, so what is the actual violation? Is it 1 game or is it actually 4 games? Is it, okay, I'm not going to suspend you for 4 games. I'm only going to suspend you for 1 game. I just don't know, man. Rico is not doing nothing anyway, nothing big for us. Born to game. I don't like that. I don't like that assumption. I don't like that gumption. I don't like the thought whereas since he's not a marquee player, since he's not doing anything, we shouldn't worry about this. I think that in the land of politics, you got to worry about just about everything. I'm thinking that with my mind is that if, put it like this, if I run a red light, I deserve a ticket. Now, if a superstar celebrity runs the red light, he deserves a ticket. It shouldn't matter whether or not I make $1 million a year, or whether or not I make $10 an hour. That should still be the same crime. Now, I do know that some people, as far as money, like the Robert Krafts of the world, can get away with things, but the NFL need to stop just playing politics and just let us just watch the football game. That's what it's all about, right? Watching the football game. So sometimes I look at these rulings like sometimes it's a 4 game, sometimes it's a 3 game, sometimes it's a 1 game, and then we don't hear the appeal, and then all of a sudden there is an appeal, and it's so much room for, I would say this, corruption. There's so much room for corruption in these matters that I just don't like the way this flow and vibe goes, Cowboy Nation. Shout out to you, Jackie Smith. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to the nation. I hope that somebody can break it down better than I can. And hopefully, it's a long little PDF. I don't want to read through every line by line of that particular PDF, but I just want to say this, though. It just seems weird that all of a sudden on a Friday, right after the NBA Finals, and then the NFL is trying to squeeze out, I guess, suspensions. It's crazy to me. It is crazy. Shout out to you, JJ. Man, shout out to you. He says, say law, we have the strongest fan base in the NFL needs to press Roger Goodell. I think so. I think that Press and Roger Goodell will be able to work. I saw with my eyes the New Orleans Saints fan base. They gathered together and they said, you know what, we're not watching this Super Bowl. And we're going to hurt the bottom line. Now, all of a sudden, we hear rule changes the very next season. And we know that the day is catch, no catch. It took them 4 years to realize, he caught the ball. But they spent on that for over 4 years almost for them to actually see that he caught the ball. And we was telling everybody, hey, Dez caught the ball. We saw him made a football move. He fell right in the line of catching the ball, took a step, and lunged for the end zone. But the NFL was like, he didn't catch the ball. He did catch the ball. He didn't catch the ball. They had this thing going back and forth. When I think that the people that making these rules is kind of crazy to me. It is. It's too crazy. Unreal talk about the Dak Prescott contract. This is from Christopher. Shout out to you. Yeah, we're going to talk about Dak Prescott contract. Dak Prescott contract, boy. $34 million. A lot of people is like, oh no, it's a lot of money. My thing is the market is the market, and for anybody to believe that Dak Prescott is not going to get what the market is saying what he should get, then the reality of it is that you don't know finance. When you look at everything, Kirk Cousins got his contract because he was in the market at the time. That's what the market says. Jimmy Garoppolo, he got his money because it was in the market. Was he a proven commodity? No. Nobody can say that Jimmy Garoppolo was already a proven commodity, right? So that's what happened. He just so happened to end up being in the market at the right time. Now, my thing is with the Carson Wentz situation, when you start talking about his money, I think it's what was 32 or 33 million, whatever it was, 32 million, 33, I forgot the number of it, right? They really is shortchanging him on his own money if you really look at it, because he had 2 years left. He had the ability to go with 5 years within his contract. So what he's doing is when Carson signed his contract, he reset the market for that particular range for the players that was, I guess, drafted in 2016. The reason why your boy Russell Wilson was able to get his amount of money is because of Aaron Rodgers' contract, you see. And they was able to utilize what Aaron Rodgers got, and they was able to input and put in the actual I guess inflations and all that stuff, and what he was able to do, playoff 10 years in games won, minus I guess the interceptions and the fumbles that he occurred and the weapons that he lost. And they said, okay, we will give Russell Wilson the 35 million, blase blase. So the market determines Russell Wilson's contract. Is Russell Wilson better than Aaron Rodgers? No. But this is the thing. It all goes and flows with the market. Now, we can look at the exact same thing as it relates to Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott is going to get paid anywhere close to what Todd Gurley just got paid. That's just the reality of it, because there's nobody in life that's going to come to Ezekiel Elliott camp and say, well, we paid Todd Gurley this amount of money, but according to this and this and that, you should get this. Nah, it don't work that way. He's going to get paid according to what the market exude. All right, so what we have here, if your friend jumped off a bridge, yeah, but well, if your friend jump off a bridge, you better figure out a way to run real fast to get down there and catch him, and make sure that he lands into some cool waters or something like that. We got to figure out those things, right, as friends. All right, Cowboy Nation. So we looked at everything. I kind of pulled up. Let me see if I can pull up Dak Prescott's contract. I know you guys see it there. And remember this, Cowboy Nation. Dak Prescott, 4 years. He's not even close to making what a Carson Wentz made his first 4 years, right? Or first 3 years, or first year period. This guy is only making over $180,000 more than Rico Gathers. So we got to look into those things as well. But we're going to go over to the market value, and I know it should be around 28, 29. And 29.4 million. That's his market value, right? And what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, the market value of Dak Prescott is 29.4. All right, so what are they going to look at his contemporaries and see what they got paid? All right, so we looked at Russell Wilson, he got 35. You look at Carson Wentz, he got 32 million. If you look at Kirk Cousins, he got 28 million. If you look at Jimmy Garoppolo, he got 27 million. If I'm Dak Prescott agent, remember the agent is out there to say, okay, you got approved for this amount. I'm going to go out there and see if I can get you the max amount dollar amount. The max amount dollar amount. I'm going to go out there and see, first of all, can I get you approved for $35 million? And they probably put that offer out there originally. And Dallas Cowboys said, man, we far apart from $35 million. There's no way on God's green earth we'll pay you $35 million. And then they start looking at this thing right here. Well, if you look at the stats and you look at this, let me see if I can pull this thing up. We're gonna just do it like this. We're going to go Pro Football Reference, and we're going to be live like 95, right? And you guys are able to see why I'm here. We're going to type up, there's no foolery going on. I'm going to type in Dak. I'm going to put in Dak. We're going to put in Carson. And this is what his agent is doing. He's going to do the same thing, and then he's going to put up Russell Wilson. And they're going to pull up Russell Wilson. And what they're going to do here is they're going to drop down to 2016, the present day. And they're going to get results. We're going to look at everything line by line, right? Are you guys able to see that there? And we're going to look into this thing. And let me see and make sure we are all correct in here. Yeah. So you guys can see. Let me slide this over just a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. All right. So they're going to look at this exact same chart. Quarterbacks are known by, and this is the only, and I have to tell people this all the time. They don't keep this record for no other position but the quarterback and the head coach. And they're going to look at quarterback record. They're going to look at the fact that Dak Prescott won 32 games and only lost 16. They're going to look at that. I know they're going to say, well, no, this is Ezekiel Elliott. 15 to 20 years from now, they're going to still be like, the quarterback. Running backs, they can be slightly forgotten. And I'm not saying that Ezekiel Elliott will be forgotten, but I'm telling you, people remember Jim Kelly more than they remember Thurman. It's just how it goes. People glorify Troy Aikman a little bit higher than Emmitt Smith, believe it or not. So it's just how the reality of it. The quarterback is always the bright spot on anybody's team. Look, Corey Dillon was playing for running back for the New England Patriots. People forgot that he even played for New England. You know, that's just how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Edgerrin James played with Peyton Manning. Yeah, Peyton Manning. And people fail to realize that, right? So they're going to look at this category right here. And whose name at the top of that list? I'll sit and wait. Let me know who name did you guys see at the top of this list. I'm going to highlight it for you. All right, so we're going to go to completions. Okay. Dak. Attempts. Let's go. Dak. Completion percentage. We're going to go Dak. You see where I'm going with this trend? And Dak's agents is going to be like, look, hey, this guy just got $35 million. We're going to look at yards. And I know a lot of people saying that, hey, wait a minute. Oh, Russell got more yards. I got to hit this button again. Let me take this highlight off. Okay. All right, so we're looking at yards. Russell. We'll give him that. Touchdowns. Russell. Carson. And then you add in the fact that Dak Prescott got 67. But I always gotta always bring this up right here. I got to always bring this up, Cowboy Nation. And this is just the reality. I can't lie to you guys to kick it. I can't not lie to you guys to kick it. What's 67 plus 18? What's 67 plus 18? And my quick math is 85. So you can't discount 85 points. You can't discount that. 85 touchdowns. So you got to be able to understand that that you cannot take away the rushing touchdowns. If rushing touchdowns wasn't a prominent stat or what have you, then whenever a quarterback runs into football, then don't allow that to be 6 points, because the Dak Prescott had 18 rushing touchdowns, and that's 6 points, regardless of how you look at it. 18 times 6 is what? 106? No, 108. 18 times 6, that's 108 points. You can't just take that and remove that off the board. Now, I can still say that Russell, he had 4 touchdowns, which is cool. That's a lot of touchdowns for a quarterback, especially a mobile quarterback. And then we look at this rating right here. Russell, 98. Dak, 96.0. Carson, 92. And, of course, we go by games played. Both of these guys at the top had 48 games. Carson had 40. But I know some people are going to sit back and say, well, injuries. Hey, injuries is a part of games, a part of life. but you got to be able. You can't make the club in the tub, as they say. You got to be able to. That's part of your health. Is a part of your ability to get paid as well. So that's part of it. I mean, you don't want to spend investments on something that's going to continue to break down, do you? And you want to be able to have, consumers trust in your product that you're purchasing. So you can't say, well, if you can't use if in that category as it relates to Dak Prescott. I'm just telling you guys the fact. That's how the agencies is going to look at it. I wish I could lie to you guys, but they ain't in my groove. I can't lie to you all. I don't want to lie to y'all. I want to keep it real with you all. I want to keep it real. All right, so we looked at the quarterback rating. Dak Prescott is second. I don't care about the longest interceptions. That's a good number for Carson. But the lowest person on this list is Dak again. Now, I would say this. Russell Wilson sacked 135 times. Dak Prescott sacked 113. That's a lot of times a quarterback getting sacked. But this is the other thing. A lot of people always say, well, Dak don't throw the ball down the field. Okay. This right here was that myth. 7.6 yards down the field, 7.4 yards down the field. Facts. 7.0 yards. But this is the deal right here. When we go look at the major stats, they talking about this right here. The per game basis. What are your quarterback doing per game? What kind of results he's going to bring in per game? And this is what we see. He's gonna not throw 300 yards. Carson Wentz throwing 253 yards. Russell is throwing 242 yards. Dak Prescott is throwing 226 yards. And then you look at the touchdown ratios. Carson is second place, and Dak Prescott is at the bottom of that list. Then we look at the interceptions, and then we're looking at the bottom of that list as well. So, which is cool. And all these quarterbacks get sacked too many times, 2.8 per game, 2.4 for Dak, and then 2.3, which is a good number for Carson in that particular category. So we can look at all of these stats here, but when they do look at the overall stats of everything, if I'm Dak Prescott agent, I'm starting my bid off at 35, and then we work our way down from there. That's just the reality of it. The B jockeying Dak. Something is serious law. Who's the B? Who's the BE? or is Davey jocking Dak? That's something serious. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is at this point. Rico Gathers always at practice. David Irvin's not. Yeah, it's a different type of situation between Rico and I believe David Irvin. My thing is both players, they need to figure out. I think Rico still have a shot at it. He only suspended for one game. I think David Irvin, he was beyond stage 2. He was way down there on stage 3 or stage 4. And once this stream is over, I can post that information down below. Cowboy Nation, let me know how you guys feel. What's up, Jay Farm, man? Appreciate you. In 2018, golf had more interceptions and then TDs in the playoffs. Oh, wow. A lot of these players, man. And then on top of that, what we can really look at, I tell you what, this is what I'm going to do, because I don't want to shortchange Dak Prescott and the people who's going to come out here and say, well, look at this and look at that. We're going to go back to that same chart, and I'm going to show you guys what is really going on. We're going to go back to this chart, and we're going to pull this thing up. Let's go back. I'm going to show you guys how much of a similarities these guys are, and we put in Dak Prescott's name, and we're going to put in Russell. I guess you got to type in Wilson, I guess. And we're going to go first one. We're going to go this first 3 years. You see how that matches up with each other. First 3 years, get results. And I think they both should be 48 games played amongst each other. Yeah, so this is like comparing the first 3 years for both players. And you'll see the similarities of each player. But you will see that, of course, Dak Prescott had 85 touchdowns collectively, and I believe Russell had 83 touchdowns. So you're still in the same wheelhouse of collective touchdowns. And if you look at the quarterback rating, Russell is still a better percentage of the ball throwing. But this is the main thing that a lot of people fail to realize with this particular quarterback growth or what have you. And a lot of people were saying, hey, he don't pass for 300 yards a game. Look, we're going to go right here. And it shows you that I guarantee you guys, if Dak Prescott had 207 yards a game, there'll be a lot of people. There'll be a lot of people mad and upset about that number right there. That's the reality. That's the truth. Within the first 3 years, they're so identical. The interceptions, I'm talking about the sacks, the average pass. Of course, Russell threw the ball a little bit further down the field, but if you look at it from these parameters, he wasn't asked to throw the ball. He only had 16. He averaged 16 attempts. He completed 16 attempts. He only attempted 26 times a game and completed 16 times out of that 26 times. So we're looking at everything, the interception per game, everything is pretty much similar. I'm talking about mirror imaging. Will Dak Prescott get a Super Bowl one day? I'm always on the belief that he will. I'm always with the belief that he will. And you surround that good defense around him, maybe we can see the reemergence of the Legion of Boom type of deal that's in Big D. Now, just me speculating, right? I know a lot of people don't like that. People don't like when you bring out those things, Cowboy Nation. People don't like it. They don't. Let me know how you guys feel about this stuff, man. All right, so let me read a few more of you guys' comments here. And I always, like I said, I always love to hear y'all thoughts on this, on these matters here. Let me read this one right here. Shout out to Miss Jackie. She says, sorry, Miss Scouting Pro. I was driving. His name is Antonio Gracia. 4 games with PED on the 11th of June. Anyone else knows about that suspension? No, we don't know about it. All right. And the Meticulous Cowboy, I don't know about it. You guys may know about it. My Cowboys family, salute to you, man. Go check out their podcast. Go check out their YouTube channel. Very, very informative. Guys, got some good information out there for the nation. Zach Nation, Russ has the Legion of Boom and a running back. Yeah, I mean, and then he had a good tight end as well, and Pete Carroll. A coaching staff that's, I guess, a little bit more experienced than Jason Garrett at the time. So that speaks volumes. Shout out to you, my Cowboys family. Daniel Hernandez says, "What's up, Law?" Yes, from Woodbridge, VA. Appreciate you, man. Big D for life. Russ win 2 Super Bowls if he just hand the ball to Lynch on the goal line. I agree. I agree. And see how that goes. You see how that goes, Cowboy Nation and everybody that listen. The Super Bowl is always given to the quarterback, regardless of the situation. People, I kid you not, 20 years from now, they will probably say, yeah, that Legion of Boom, that defense was good, Defense was good. But, man, Russell Wilson is a time Super Bowl champion, And do you have any facts on that? Yeah. Yeah, I have facts on that. Think about this, Cowboy Nation, and correct me if I'm wrong. Was Terry Bradshaw a good quarterback? I'll wait. But if everybody will forget about that defense and remember Terry Bradshaw. They will always remember that, The only defense that kind of echoes and permeates throughout the echoes of the worlds or throughout every corner of the world is like the test that everybody will always say. The 85 Bears, they always would mention the 85 Bears. It's like once you become a good defense, they say, hey, Remind me of the '85 Bears, you know, and you can throw in those other teams like the Ravens and stuff like that when they had just an outstanding defense. Outstanding defense. Jay says, Law Nation, don't compare Dak to Russell Wilson. He's a vet. Compare Dak to a regular postseason numbers, to a 7 quarterbacks on his draft class. I feel what you're saying, Jay. He says, don't compare Russell. See, I was comparing Russell's first 3 years compared to Dak Prescott's first 3 years. But I see what you're saying. Now, if you start looking at Dak Prescott regular and postseason numbers to any other postseason numbers from the quarterback that was drafted during his time, then, of course, Dak Prescott will win that because, you know, he's the only quarterback that's in his, I guess, era, because Goff didn't light it up. Even when he played against the Dallas Cowboys, he didn't light up the scoreboard there. Big D for Life says, the 2000, Jordan K says 2000 Ravens, yes. So the defense, but still they're going to say, hey, Trent Dilfer or Brett, was it not Trent Dilfer, the Brad Johnson, you know, whoever the quarterback was. Oh, he won a Super Bowl, you know. Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer, all those guys going to be forever mentioned that they won the Super Bowl because they were the quarterback at that time. Law, what time tomorrow? Cowboys Experience event tomorrow. I would love to see you all there. It's going to be at 2 o'clock. It starts at 2:30. Be there around 2 o'clock. Beat the crowd. You know, get out there a little early, and so you can set up and get your spot and location ready for Alan Hearns and Erica Wilson. I can't wait to meet them. And Joe Flacco. Yes. Jackie Smith said Joe Flacco. Yes. So let me go over here. Cowboys Experience. Guys, check out their website, man. It's just fantastic here. Let me see if I can get this out for you all so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Bam. There we go. Cowboys Experience. Go to their website, guys. It's a fantastic website. Got some great things out here. Got some great offers for you all. We're going to have some wonderful people out there in the mix. And we have all of the games on deck. You see that right here. So for those who out there who love the Giants, come on out. We love to see y'all week 1. And then for week 2, Redskin fans, of course, we would love to see you all out there. We got packages for everything, basically. So, Cowboy Nation, that's all the time that I have for this wonderful day. I really appreciate you all. Really, 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 really do. Don't forget to post your comments, post your thoughts, I meant to say, and concerns about this whole Rico Gathers situation, this whole NFL suspension. Why is it such a fickle line? Why is it not white and black? Why is it always something that we just can't put a finger on? Why is it some games is 4, some games is 3, some game is 10, you know? So we want to know all of the things, right? Let's continue to grow this thing. Let's continue to grind, Cowboy Nation. Martin is not so fast. You talking about Zach Martin? Are you talking about my boy Zach Martin? I think Martin's pretty cool. We still got Jeff Heath. You right.